All right, now here is Mary Beth really going off the range. This is a little piece that I made with these stencils. I know, you're thinking, what the heck? But I'll show you how. This is a piece, this is watercolor paper, hot press watercolor paper. And it's hot press watercolor paper is real smooth instead of the bumpy cold press. So I like it a lot because of the smoothness of that. So, okay. So you know when I saw this stencil, I mean, I know it's for envelopes, I realized that, but it just reminded me of like grids because they're rectangles and then these little parts are squares. And oh my God, you know how I am, right? With my grids. Love it. So I thought there's got to be a way I can use this stencil in an abstract format. So Inktense pencils, I have them in a million colors, and I'm going to pull out some that I think would be pretty together. I'm kind of in a pink thing, can you tell? And maybe a little purple, and then maybe some deep purple. Well, that's a mauve. I don't want that. Violet, that's a good one. And I will show you what I'm going to do, because this you can also do with any stencil, but it was just something that I thought was kind of fun. So I laid the stencil down and I just started by kind of tracing in these areas here, okay? And then just colored a little bit here and there, not everywhere. Pick up some different colors. Again, these are Inktense pencils. Traced another area, another area. You can see that I'm kind of not even tracing that well, right? Let's use a little bit of yellow on here too. And then we'll go up here. Now in this particular case, I love the fact that this blocking in the center is basically going to hold whites. And I think that's kind of a fun idea too, because that's something that I struggle with in my work. I get all excited about the color. Hello, don't we all? And you know, remembering to hold the whites can be, you know, something I have to tell myself. All right, so move this aside, and this is what I've got. Doesn't look that exciting just yet, but here we go. All right, I have a little thing of water, clean water, and a brush. I'm gonna wet my brush, and then I'm just gonna activate the Inktense with water. So, and you can pull it to the next color if you want. You can completely, you've got options. You can completely obliterate the lines like that, or you can leave some of the lines like that. You just have tons of options here. I kind of like how the traced parts tend to stay there, the outside. I also like exceeding the lines, you know, coloring inside the lines. Never my strength, right? So I'm going to go across the middle a little bit. What I like that happens here when you color and then you reactivate it later is that you get automatically lighter and darker parts. And I think that that's pretty cool. So we did some, so let's move this and do some more. And you know what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna drip. So you can turn your Inktense into something that will drip as well. I mean, this is astonishing to me that you can take such a simple stencil and start making something that looks much more interesting than that. And the way these colors are blending up is very pretty, very pretty. So when it dries, that one's pretty wet. This one's dry. So I'm going to come back over to this one and I'm going to grab this violet. And so I'm going to color in some of these sections because once the Inktense dries down, it's pretty permanent. That's the nice thing about it. That's why it's called Inktense, like intense, Inktense. Cute. And this is when you think about, I always keep these little tiny frames around. I mean, look at some of these little vignettes. They're really quite pretty. You could put a word on those, or just save these parts and use them in collage, or cut them up and use them in a greeting card or whatever. I mean, just so many options.